Hello, it's me again. This is the last update for the Basic Fantasy Adventure Binge taking place at Fallcon in Quincy, Illinois on the 30th and 31st of August. Fallcon actually technically starts on the 29th and ends on September 1st, but we're going to be there just 2 days, the 30th and the 31st. I'm not going to go over in detail what the binge is, other than just to say that it is going to be an event where we'll have 4 tables. We will have, up to 4 tables, I should say. Up to 28 participants besides myself. There will be 4 chapters to 1 adventure. Everybody will get to play through the whole thing if they make both days. If you can only make Saturday, that's fine. We'll start you in the middle and you'll still get to see the end. So that's great. We're allowing for 28 participants maximum. That's 4 tables, 7 per table. I will be the GM of the first table for the first session, for the first half of the day on Friday. About 3.5 hours for Chapter 1. For Chapter 2 in the evening, late afternoon, evening at Fallcon Friday, I'll be running Table 2. On Saturday, I'll run Tables 3 and 4 for the Chapter 3 and 4 there. So whatever chapter number we're running, I'll be at that table number. Hopefully we're going to be able to space the tables far enough apart so the players aren't cheating off each other, like back in high school. We'll all be playing the same adventure, but everybody will be playing their own version of it. When I'm not at a table running it, there'll be a volunteer GM. So of the 7 people maximum at a table, one of those people will be a volunteer GM. Right now, I have enough volunteer GMs to go around. Because right now, at this moment, 21 people are signed up for the Saturday session and 19 people are signed up for the Friday session. So that is 3 tables worth. I have 3 volunteer GMs available for both days. 1 volunteer GM available for Saturday. So if we go over 21 people for Saturday, but we don't go over 21 people for Friday, we'll have 3 tables on Friday. And we'll rearrange a little bit and have 4 tables on Saturday. Everybody will still get a chance to play at a table with me, and then the volunteer GMs will take care of the rest of it. I do want to put it out there that if there's anybody who is willing and able to be a volunteer GM for a possible Table 4 that might happen on Friday the 30th, please let me know. Don't use the comments on YouTube for this if you don't mind. Go to our forum. I'll make sure there's a link in the description. There's a thread in the forum where we're keeping track of this stuff, or contact me by Facebook. Contacting me through YouTube doesn't work as well. I've already got too many channels to keep track of as it is right now. I can't seem to get everybody in one place. My ducks won't get in a row. But things are looking good. As I say, 21 people are signed up for Saturday. So I mean, even if we don't have 4 tables on Saturday, 3 tables is pretty good. And if we really do only have 3 tables on Saturday, I will cycle back to Table 1, and we may shuffle players around a little bit for the 4th session. We may actually do a little rearranging. I don't want to rearrange too much before that point because I want everybody to have a chance to sit at the table with me, and that could cost somebody to miss the opportunity. If we do have 4 tables on Saturday, which I think we probably will, then I'll be at Table 4 for the 4th session. That's how it's going to work. Really looking forward to this. The current volunteer GMs have received copies of the relevant sections. Now, they're volunteer GMs. They'll be playing in the sessions when I'm at their table. But each chapter of the binge adventure is written in such a way that it doesn't give any advantages to the volunteer GM if they play in a subsequent chapter. They don't know anything that's going to benefit them in a future chapter because I'm not giving anything away in the chapters I'm passing them out. Each one is semi-self-contained. It wasn't the easiest way to write an adventure, but I think it's going to be worth it. I'm really looking forward to seeing this play out. 1 volunteer GM has already play tested Chapter 1 with his in-person group, who will not be they will not be able to attend the binge, but he will be. He'll be a volunteer GM. He'll be playing. He'll be Table 2, and we've run into some issues. The adventure is a little longer then the chapter is a little longer than it should be. His players got roughly halfway through. I'd obviously like to see everybody get at least to the climax of the adventure. I say halfway to the climax, not even back out again. So we're working on the pacing. We're trimming things down a little bit to pep it up a little bit so that they can get through it in 3.5 hours. Chapters 2 and 3 are partially written and have been passed. The partial versions have been passed on to the relevant volunteer GMs for their review, along with a couple of other reviewers who will not be attending the binge. And so I wanted them to be able to see it and get a feel for how it's going, how it's going to work, and so forth. It's looking good so far. I don't see any reason why everything's not going to be ready on the day of. I was not able to confirm enough battle mats for our anticipated needs. I put a call out for people who had Chessex mega mats, the ones that are 34 by 46 squares, and I couldn't confirm enough mats to cover, literally, to cover our needs for the binge. And rather than buy a bunch myself or try to wheedle people into buying them, I went out and got a 200-foot roll of 34-inch wide, 1-inch square paper. It will work just fine. We're going to cut the 4-foot sections of it in advance, so they'll already be ready to just roll out on the tables. And there's some advantages to using paper rather than using the battle mat for the binge. Not necessarily in general. I'd still rather have a battle mat in general, but for purposes of the binge, I think the paper is actually going to work pretty well. Like I said, everything's coming together good. I will put the information about the binge, about the hotels, which there's a discount. I believe there's still discount accommodations available at this point for Fallcon. Fallcon is combined with the Great River Film Festival, so there may be some contention there. I don't really know how big the film festival is going to be, but it's all the same, and all the same in the venue and everything. Of course, you do have to pay your admission to Fallcon. There's no admission fee, no charges or anything for participating in the adventure binge. You just have to, legitimately get to the convention with the convention badge, and you're in business. Hang on a moment. That can wait for just a little bit while I finish this up. So that's where we are with this. I'm really looking forward to this. I'm going to be able to meet a lot of people that I have not met, including some of my actual players I've been playing online with for several years now. And that's great. One of the volunteer GMs is an editor from the project who's edited a number of our books. I think his credits are even in the core rules. So, this is going to be great. I'm really looking forward to it. Said I wasn't going to talk too much about it, but again, the binge is basically just 2 sessions on the convention schedule, a session on Friday and a session on Saturday, but each session will have 2 chapters, 3.5 hours each. It's an 8-hour session with an hour cut out of the middle as an intermission. So you can, go eat, go hit the vendor floor, come talk to me, bring me your books, I'll sign them. That's the plan. I intend to remain in the venue during the intermission period. I'm going to have food brought in to me, and I'll just be there. So anybody who wants to do whatever is welcome to come around and hang out. I'd like to meet every one of you who's coming. If you haven't signed up for it yet, but you think you can make it, we've got right now 7 slots available for Saturday. We can take that many more people, really. One other thing that I thought I would do today, in this last binge update, is read you the introduction for the players. This is what everyone will get at the beginning of Chapter 1 who comes on Friday. And of course, it's relevant to you even if you are only there for Saturday. There is trouble on the Darden Way, the trade road that runs south from the kingdom of Essentel to the principalities of Casdenay. In the disputed territory around the village of Wolvenmere, travelers are being attacked by strange humanoids, said to be frog-like or fish-like in appearance. For political reasons, neither King Falthor of Essentel nor the Council of Casdenay are willing to send troops into this disputed area. The Guild of Merchants has no such issues. All of you are employed by the guild, either directly or under contract from your own guilds or masters, with a mandate and an obligation to do what you must to end this threat. From the guild headquarters in Essentel, you traveled south along the Darden Way, crossing the verdant bottomland between the great river Mistile to the west and the hilly Gendel forest to the east. No strange creatures threatened you along the way, and so you arrived tired and dusty in Wolvenmere. You found accommodations at the Sleeping Drake Inn, and after a visit to a nearby bathhouse, you sat down to a hearty meal washed down with good local cider. As you began your meal, an older man enters, draws up a chair, and sits down facing you. His peasant garb is finer than that of the other villagers you've met, and shows little wear. "I am Elder Mosswood," he says. "It is my honor and duty to lead the village. Are you the one sent by the Merchants Guild?" Good. Glad to meet you. I must tell you our troubles then. As you came here from the north, you surely saw the tower on the rock, west of the road, just a mile or so outside of town? Good. Well, we think that's where the creatures are coming from. Let me explain. Years ago, the little tower stood there, used as a lookout by Essentel in their skirmishes with Kazdanay. After they gave it up as a waste of time, they sold it to some wizard, who promptly blew it up. So then another wizard, Deimos Morian, came to town with a deed from the king, started building a new tower on the rock. He chuckles ruefully. "Well, some people never learn, you know," says the innkeeper's wife as she refills your drinks. I know. I shouldn't speak ill of the king, even if he's not my king. Bah! Wizards, always blowing things up." A dwarf woman walks up to the table and stands beside the elder, who says to you, "This is our blacksmith, Griselda Hammerfall. She has been inside the dungeons beneath the rock." "Aye," she says, "before that fool Eldarion blew it up. The stairs mount up to a door, and then you pass through several rooms until you come to one where you can go right or left. Either way leads to more rooms that circle back towards the entrance, but before the tunnel might connect, there are stairs. On the upper level, the way is sort of the same, and after a few rooms you find a door that points towards the tower. If this Morian wretch hasn't changed the dungeon, that's how you'll get to his new glass-roofed tower." "I don't really know this," says Elder Mosswood, "but I feel it in my bones. The key to this whole situation is in that tower." "It's strange," says the innkeeper, walking over towards the elder. "That Deimos Morian fellow used to come to town ever so often to get supplies, but he hasn't been here in months." After a good night's sleep in a surprisingly comfortable bed, and a breakfast every bit as good as the last night's supper, you set out for the rock. You found it easily enough, and as you walk up the trail towards the long staircase leading up and into the rock, you find yourselves marveling at the strangeness of the stubby gray tower on top, with its blue-tinted glassy dome roof gleaming in the sunlight. The adventure starts there. So this is how this all gets started. Everybody is on a mission, and I look forward to seeing how you all set out to accomplish it. So, if you're coming to the binge, great. Look forward to meeting you. Come see me. Come shake my hand. I'll sign your books for you if you bring them with you, and I'll be happy to sit down at a table with you, and we'll play a game. Thank you all for your time, and I hope to see you all there.